Are you ready?
2 minutes left. Left. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts
right here, right now.
This is a message to all the haters out there. If you don't like what I do, but you watch everything I'm doing, you're still a fan.
Trendsetter, whoa, league of my own, it don't get better. No, read what I wrote, I'm a bestseller. Yeah, reach for my goals, hit it dead center, hit it dead center. Bullseye, hit it the most, there's no misses. Something like fish in a barrel, it's no different. Blindfold on me, I still got the most vision. Trendsetter told them before, but they don't listen. Better, bring a better bad because I'm bigger, better. Solo, single, selling several shows.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of Hog HQ Live, brought to you by the Hog Talk Podcast. Once again, you know the motto. I see Jericho Clark and Brad Stanton is already in here. Tell a friend, and we are back again with another episode. That's not
Nope.
the button. That one.
Where it is. There it is.
There you go. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Y'all know how we do it. That's how we start the show off, man. So once again, thank you guys for joining us tonight. This gentleman right here, this is Adam. That gentleman right there, that's Mr. Hart. And I'm DP. Look, we're going to go ahead and jump into it. But before we get into it, because we got a lot to discuss tonight, guys. Yeah, it's one of those. Just remember that this show is brought to you also by Bet Online, the world's most trusted betting platform for your number one sources of everything football, preseason NFL, and college kickoff. Bet Online has every stat, matchup, and even live odds and spreads while the game is being played. You think you know your stuff? Get it on the winner circle for our $300,000 NFL survivor pool for the upcoming season. When this game is finished, head over to the online casino and get in on some blackjack, poker, or unwind one of our 150 slot games. Head over to the website today. Use promo code BELIEVE. How do you spell that?
BLEAV.
That's it. And get in on the action. Bet online. The game starts here. Now that we got that out the way. All right. Who is that? Derek. Derek said ugly.
Ugly game.
Yeah. No, I thought we were talking about you personally. Okay.
No.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah. A lot to discuss, Brad. You know it. All right. So we definitely gonna get into it. But first, let's get into this SEC roundup. And I got some little tidbits to add when we get into this roundup. And of course, we're gonna get into these Hogs tonight. All right, UGA versus Kentucky, 13-12. That was an ugly game. I went to my first Atlanta United match the other night. Had some suites. I was in the suite, behind the glass up top.
Are you
Sweet life.
bougie?
No. I just got connections. I know people. Connections matter. Hashtag connections matter. But anyway, I was watching the game while the game was being played on the field, and when I tell you that was an ugly situation, it brought a lot of attention to UGA to say this is going to be an interesting season. Looking at what they did. Now we've seen in past seasons where they had some games where they got caught up. They played down to their opponent. Sounds familiar, and didn't take them as seriously. But they squeaked out with the win with that one. Texas 56 over UTSA 70.
I think they overtake number one tomorrow.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you, and this hurts my heart to say this. Texas is the real deal. I don't know who can really. The only matchup I look the rest of their schedule. The only matchup you really have is Georgia. I think that's in 3 weeks maybe. So of course Georgia, Kirby Smith, Smart to get those guys together. But I think that's gonna be the biggest matchup. Other than that, I think Texas can go all the way, and I hate to say that, but I'm just a football fan at the end of the day, and I just recognize what I see in front of my eyes. Alabama.
I'll say before we go to Alabama, I'll say on Texas, I think the worst thing that possibly happened was us stomping them a couple of years ago at home, because it probably gave Sarkisian the blueprint on what exactly he needed, what he had to compare to what he needed to compete in the SEC. Albeit he had been at Alabama, so he kind of had the knowledge there, but kind of allowed him to measure up. And man, they've really taken off since we put it to them that time.
And let's be clear. We always know this is a popular hashtag. Sarkisian, being in Alabama, has taken the Bama Saban blueprint and implemented it in Texas, in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
So, and let's also remember, Quinn Ewers got hurt again, because this happens every year. And Arch Manning showed out when he got in the game. So if Ewers is out for a couple weeks, I don't see him ever giving up the throne. Manning, I mean, it's Manning time. Arch got that swag. He got that arm. He really has a chemistry with the players. So I see how those guys really dig each other. So it's going to be interesting to watch them. And like I said, I hate to be looking at Texas like that, but I'm just looking at football related. And those guys really got a squad. Bama went ahead to Camp Randall and went ahead and took care of business. Jalen Milroe, quietly putting together a nice season.
He's letting those naysayers know.
Let naysayers know. What the man say? I didn't think he was gonna say that.
Yeah. Not what I thought.
Right, exactly. So yeah, they definitely doing their thing. Once again, you got a 17-year-old, I think his name Ryan Williams, receiver. Yeah, who's supposed to be a senior in high school right now, who reclassified. Exactly. And when I tell you that young man balling, so it's going to be interesting to see what they look like. They don't have the usual running game thing. I think in the new system, Coach came from Washington. It's real pass heavy. So it gives Jalen Milroe an opportunity to show his elite skills in regards to reading defenses and spreading the ball around. So I like what I've seen with Bama. Ole Miss, continue to pour it on week after week. Look, Lane Kiffin got something to say. And I know it's Wake Forest. At the end of the day, this man has been consistent. Also with his quarterback, those guys have been divvying it up with the passing yards and the touchdown. So they just continue to light the scoreboard up every week. Mizzou was in the pick'em. Mizzou ended up squeaking out against BC. Yeah, I know. Yeah, you.
I was trying to get ahead.
Ahead.
Didn't work out. Kind of like Baltimore today.
Hey, you're going to get in front of that. I like what you did there.
Tommy in the comments already beat me to it.
Tommy is already on it. Shout out to Tommy for that. But yeah, Mizzou ended up squeaking out a win. It's interesting to watch them because they've been lighting up the scoreboard the past couple of weeks. Just have a moderate score game just to see what they look like going into next week. I don't know who their opponent is, but it'd be interesting to keep an eye on them because they've been lighting the scoreboard up as well. Tennessee, and we said this in our season predictions in regards to our schedule. There's no way. They light it up every week with Nico. So it was so. I think they had 30-some points in the first quarter.
Yeah, it was, they were up 50-something to 0 or 60-something to 0 at halftime.
Damn.
So yeah. I think they scored 35 or 37 or so. Here's the thing with that team too, and I didn't watch the game. I just saw highlights and whatnot. But you talk about a team that you're supposed to beat, handily. But you do things in that game to prepare for at some point in the rest of the season, we may have to do this. They're up 30 points in the first quarter, and they onside kicked it. Just because at some point you never know when you're going to need to practice that.
Yeah.
And, it's one of those things. There are some people like, oh, screw the sportsmanship. They're practicing for this potentially needing to happen at some point during the season.
Yeah.
If you can't stop them, that's on you.
Yeah, and I'm sure at some point that fan base is like, we don't need to play them. I don't even know why they're on the schedule. Same thing we said in week 1. And, well, we'll get into that. OU 34-19. I have not seen much of OU. They don't look spectacular. I know their quarterback transferred from Oregon. I think they have Oregon.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean they've been doing moderate amongst the competition they've been playing. Tulane got a nice little squad, to be honest with you, and their jerseys are real clean. They had on this past week.
Mizzou plays Vanderbilt next week, so
they gonna keep it rolling.
Vanderbilt lost to Georgia State.
Man, look,
you're getting there. But.
Yeah, that's wild. All right, LSU should have lost that damn game.
100%.
Yeah, they should have lost that game. I ain't gonna lie. I know we talk about other people that are no longer here. Rocket Sanders ended up showing up in that game. They had a nice little run game going. The quarterback went down, and they made some things happen. A&M versus Florida. Okay, Billy Napier, your ass is grass, buddy. Tell it to the judge, or whatever people used to say back in the day. It's over with. Billy Napier at Florida. That thing is ugly. You thought Florida State had a problem. At least Florida State went undefeated the regular season last year. Billy Napier still hasn't got it done, and it seems like he's still using 3-star guys and hoping they're going to pan out to be 5 stars. You got the payroll. Just go buy you a team like Texas A&M did last year, the year before. Make it happen. But as of right now, Florida look like trash. A&M, the quarterback goes down. The backup quarterback comes in.
Where have we seen that before?
Look, man, I'm not saying he is. He looked a little Money Manziel-ish. When I tell you, it's a highlight, and I know you don't have it, but it's a highlight. What this dude does, he shakes him. The dude's just crawling. He's doing bear crawls on the field at this point, trying to catch up with himself. Logan, what's happening? He made the dude look silly. So now look at A&M. They bring a whole different dynamic to the ball game because the young man was very effective with the ball. I think he only missed 2 completions. Other than that, the man ran the ball effectively when the pocket collapsed. So that's a whole different dynamic from what you had in the previous quarterback. So it'd be interesting to see what it looked like going forward and how long the quarterback is out. Auburn, 45-19 over New Mexico. Auburn going to do what Auburn going to do. I looked at this game because I'm like, we play them next. So as you said, Adam, are they using it as a tune-up to prepare for the next opponent, which is going to be Arkansas? Yeah, Arkansas first. SEC game. So, and my tidbit on Auburn. Did you guys know that the dude who killed us last year, the little slow quarterback who ran over us, I forgot his name, Thornton. I forgot whatever his name is.
Peyton Thorne.
Yeah, he trashed.
He got trashed, and their new quarterback, which granted, look at your game, but he lit it up yesterday.
Look, he lit it up the other day. And the thing that was interesting about that, the Arkansas fans may not think it has no connection to Arkansas. They end up starting a true freshman at quarterback. And guess what his name was not? Walker White. So Walker White is competing with another true freshman, and the other young man ended up getting the game and finishing the game out and ended up balling. So at this point, I don't know if they really look back. That's kind of a good look for T. Will and the defense to go against a young quarterback, be able to apply some pressure. So,
hey, Justin, this is actually what their game is going to be. It's going to be on 8 a.m. and Nickelodeon.
Oh, my God.
I got
That's
bored
crazy
one day.
work.
You know what happens when I get bored, so.
You get creative, and I like it. I definitely like it. Boom. So that's Auburn. So it'll be interesting to see what they look like with the young quarterback up under center going against Arkansas next week. It's another home game for them, so that'll be interesting to see. And our first SEC road test. So that'll be interesting to see what T. Will cooks up to go against the young man and apply pressure. Who is that?
Who? Toledo and Moose State, Mississippi State?
Hell no.
Moose State, yeah.
My take on that particular game. Toledo is actually UAB. And Mississippi State is like Arkansas. If you look at their last couple of games, they had some games where they blew out somebody. It was like, damn, they scored that many points. I didn't know it's going to be that powerful offensively. But then they play against a team you quote unquote supposed to beat, and then this is what you do at home. And I will also tell you, in watching that game, the offensive line looks like the Three Stooges. And I was like, who is the offensive line coach? And I thought about it. Cody Kennedy. She used to be our offensive line coach. So he's consistent in his approach to let his quarterback run for his life. So it is what it is. Georgia State. Georgia State beat Vanderbilt. That was a nice little game. I'm going to give Vanderbilt some credit. I know we don't do more victories over here, but Vanderbilt is really hanging in there and really putting something together for the season. So I'm rooting for Vanderbilt on the low. The city of Atlanta was jumping because you had the Braves played that night at home, the United played that night at home, and something else was going on in the city, but there was a lot going on. Either way, Georgia State bringing home the win versus Vanderbilt. So Vanderbilt ends up dropping one. So those are the scores for the week. You guys got any comments on those before I jump into these comments?
Besides, I mean, you had some SEC play and whatnot, and I mean, Alabama handling Wisconsin. But in reality, you saw teams Auburn in New Mexico. You saw, let's see, even I'll use OU. I mean, OU still beat Tulane, Tennessee, dropping Kent State. Teams did what they were supposed to do in preparing to get ready for SEC play.
Yeah.
Unlike yesterday for Arkansas,
Man, look,
which we're about to get into.
We definitely gonna get into that. Go into these comments real quick. Brad says, I'm irritated that Texas is the real deal, and we aren't at this point. I think we all agree with you on that one, Brad. Definitely makes sense. Tommy says Texas is number one in the new AP poll that came out today. Mark says Texas brass.
Texas, basically, the Texas higher ups finally got the head coach out of their ass and over the arrogance. So basically, Arkansas needs to do the same. And we all know, I mean, Sarkisian had his issues, and for whatever's happened, whatever conversations happened, he's got it together.
All right, let me give. So my guy is back, Jay Johnson. What's happening? I'm glad to have you back, sir. Been missing seeing your name on the screen. Gave your son a shout out, JJ Hollingsworth. We gave your son a shout out a couple weeks ago. We seen him play. So shout out to JJ for doing what he's been doing, man, and getting some reps in there and making an impact on the defensive line. Justin said, okay, we talked about that one. Will, are you guys worried at all about playing A-State next year? Can you imagine how devastating that loss will be? Hey, you know what, Will, to be honest with you, I'm definitely on board with what you're saying. I'm not against it. It's not too far-fetched. My question is, will we end up with the record that Adam says we will end up with? And if so, we'll have a whole different coach. So,
it's okay. Here's the thing, too. Are we going to play the A-State team that shouldn't have beat UCA, or are we getting the A-State team that only lost by 10 to Michigan?
Right.
So,
two totally different teams. Yeah. Auburn got revenge for losing against New Mexico State. Gotcha. All right, let's go ahead and get into this, man. Arkansas squeaking out a win, 10-point win against Alabama. Birmingham. What's his name? Trent Dilfer was the coach.
Yeah.
Former
quarterback.
Yeah, for the Bucks. Did he choke a dude in high school or something? Did he snatch up a player in high school or something?
I don't know, but I feel like he has taken his fair share of TRT in the offseason.
Absolutely. So, look, we're going to get right into this thing.
And y'all know the game highlights are going to play while we talk, and we may pause it to stop out some or to point out some things. Early on in this, when we went down 10-0, I mean, I was just trying to, I was laughing a little bit, but it was kind of like that, here we go again, bullshit laugh. I didn't know what to think. Yeah. But, we talk about players being gas and depth and all that. When you're giving up 9 or 6, 7, 8 minute drives, your defense is going to be gassed. And that's what we saw yesterday.
7.5 minutes on the drive. Like, it's crazy not to be able to get the stop. And let me also say this part. I seen Coach Pitt talk about it in the post-game presser about Coach T. Will and his wife. She had her baby. So shout out to them, you know what I'm saying, for having a healthy baby coming to this world and the wife being healthy as well. Shout out to the family for that. But of course, with that being said, a lot of times Coach T. Will wasn't at practice. Now I feel like they have a staff to where because we have a co-defensive coordinator and Woodson.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think everything would go as normal, even if T. Will wasn't there. Um, Once again, I think this comes down to some of the play. I seen some fatigue, and I don't think it was physical fatigue. I think it was mental fatigue in some situations. Thinking about how the game started, looking at how the game started, I'm like, 7 minutes and 30 seconds for a drive is ridiculous to end up in the field goal. Then you turn right around. Jaquan Jackson, he's still on the grown damn man list. He's still on the grown damn man list. That dude right there is a real player. Like I said, he's an NFL running back. But once again, Taylor Green snaps the ball and already makes up his mind who he's going to without reading the defense pre-snap and throws an interception. And once again, I'm gonna talk about his feet. I'm gonna talk about it every week until it gets fixed. This guy is a 4-year player. Is he 4 years?
He's a junior.
He's a junior. So some of the mistakes that he's making, whether it's the accuracy issues, throwing behind players, throwing it high, this is stuff that should have been fixed when you came from Boise State. I think he threw 9 picks last year at Boise, and of course we all think if you're under by Petrino tutelage, some of these things are going to be fixed, they're going to be worked on, and you should progress as the weeks go. Being 6'6" and being a quarterback and going and making a decision to run, you're not going to juke anybody, sir. Just run the damn ball. Just run straight ahead wherever you're going because your body's still in the same spot, no matter how much you do this wiggle room. If they look at your midsection and look at your numbers, they're going to hit you. That's what football players learn in high school, right? So it's like, all that damn juking, you're going to get yourself hurt, sir. So it was just interesting to see that part of it. I do got to get a shout out this week. Can I give a shout out, guys?
No.
Yeah. So number 8. Somebody got number 8 watching the show. Somebody got number 8 watching the show. Damn, Johnson on defense. Hey man, I think he was a co-leader in tackles this week. Hey man. Now at some point, your boy Metcalf, who's a young stud, he likes snatching helmets. This dude is just grabbing up high. And he ended up taking off a dude's helmet and grabbed him by the shoulder, passing another play. He still got some work to do. He's young. I could definitely give him some grace, but he's definitely athletic and making plays. He just got to get more discipline in his scheme. That's all I got on him. But number 8, I think he's been watching the show. I think somebody is telling him that we is on his ass, and we expect more from him. And he did a good job this week as well and made some plays. So shout out to him for doing what he do. Braylon Russell, can you pause this, sir?
Oh, no, I've got a special clip if we want to.
Well, run a special clip because I think somebody on here got something to say about it.
Matt, do you want to say it now or say it after?
We can do it now since it's already here. I just want to shout out my cousin, Maddox Lassiter, the fullback. But I do want to critique him a little bit on his block. He's new to playing the fullback spot and stuff, but he just needs to fix up his approach on the block a little bit. He went too far across, and you'll see he needs to just keep his head across the guy's chest and drive him out the hole, or use his hands and get up under his shoulder pads and drive him back. He tried to cross him, and it looked like he was trying to drive him back towards the inside, like he was supposed to hook him. And if the defender's out of the way, you just take them the way they want to go and just get them out to create the hole. But he helped create the hole. I'm just trying to critique a little bit to help hopefully get him a little better.
Yeah, there you go. Not being biased, even though it's your relative.
Well, the jumbo package is definitely on display here for Arkansas. Hand it off right side to Russell at 253 pounds. Got a good block from his tight fullback, Lassiter. And Arkansas with their first touchdown of the day.
Great drive, staying committed to the run. And Maddox Lassiter as the fullback. A couple times we've seen the I formation, but man, it's a lot of beef back there. 253 pounds. The freshman running back. So he's still got some speed with that size, too.
Yeah, look like Maddox ran into a wall real quick.
Yeah, he just needs to take him to the right. Just get him on out the play. That's all he needs to do. Don't worry about hooking him or nothing. Just get him on out.
Adam, you had something on that?
Yeah, I mean, it was it was good to see them get it to Braylon. That's what Braylon was brought here for. I mean, I still think that Braylon is more than just a goal line back. But there's no reason that we shouldn't have just ran the entire game, because obviously passing wasn't it.
So do you guys? I don't know if you guys remember, but Devoir Whaley, as well as Johnson.
Dominique.
What was his name? Dominique Johnson. This is the same script they did. Get to the goal line and just say, hey, give him the ball and just let him beat people up. I'm like, you got to get these guys plays also in between the 20s, in the middle of the field, and let them get loose. Let a big back catch the ball in the flats. And let
we
do
saw
his
it a
thing.
lot previously, not a lot, but noticeably when Cody Walker was here. They
There
got
you
passes
go.
out of the backfield. He was at the goal line. He was ready to go. I mean, I think one of his years here, he had, I think, 6 or 7 touchdowns or something like that, which were goal line. But at the same time, early in the game, they're hitting him on passes out of the backfield. They're giving him runs. He's bursting for 10 to 12. I mean, it's one of these things you got to do with these guys.
Yeah. Also, the clips we were watching, shout out to War Machine from YouTube. So we got to make sure we get that young man credit for what he does with these clips. Also, William Brown, I see you in the comments that I got a lot of rents. We got a call-in line. If you feel like it's a lot of typing, we can send you the number to the call-in line, sir, so you can go ahead and get your rents. We definitely want to hear you guys' comments because I look at it from the standpoint of we made predictions at the beginning of the season. Some people are already ready to make predictions. Other people said, I got to wait to Oklahoma State to see. Well, now you see. So the question is, who are we? Are we the team that played against Arkansas Pine Bluff? Are we the team that played against Oklahoma State? Or is this who we are in week 3? Is this who we are in week 3 against UAB at home with the attendance and whatever the number says it was? What was the attendance on this, or what was the situation with the attendance?
I mean, they said it was sellout. So we get into this thing that there's, it's sold out, or we hear the announced attendance, or I don't know. We hear excuses of scanners being not working correctly, so they couldn't stand tickets at War Memorials. I mean, I don't know at this point. So it's just one of those things. From what we could see on TV, there was clearly people that had left the game. So it's just one of those that you had 300 plus days since the last game in Fayetteville, and you really didn't give them a great showing to welcome him back.
Yeah. Brad, now I'm glad you said it, Brad, because I was going to say that earlier. When the interception happened on the first drive, Brad, I said the same thing. Here we go again. It seems like every game we have a here we go again moment. So Brad said, here we go again. Thing is getting old at this point. Sam Pittman needs to poop or get off the pot. I like the way you stated there, sir. Definitely needs to make it do what it do. No pun intended. Do what it do. Anyhow, all right, Tommy, the defensive line had no pressure for 2 weeks in a row. Damn Skippy. And it doesn't help when Green misses an open receiver by 10 yards multiple times during a game as well. Adam, you going to say it, or you want me to say it?
Say what?
Fuck it. Number 5, Andrew Broden.
Tyrone Broden.
Whatever his name is. It don't even matter what his name is at this point.
I've never seen a wide receiver not named Kadarius Toney, and I know I said this on the previous show, not named Kadarius Toney drop so many passes.
Dude, I'll say this. To be fair to an extent, I know we look at it from our fandom and we want these players to do well. And it looks, you never seen somebody that you work with and you be like, man, you okay? Like you got some stuff going on. Like I can see it on your face type thing. His body language just screamed that he wasn't in the game. Like not really going for the pass and not high pointing the ball in the back of the end zone. I'm like, dude, you tall for a reason, bro. Use that. Adam is your fan and just said it's just weird. Him and Biddy. Hey, I just don't understand why dude that tall only had this many passes. Shit, because he ain't trying to get damn open. You got to get damn open and use the height advantage to get what you got to get. Go ahead.
Apparently, we just got cut off on YouTube.
Oh, we'll bring it back.
Probably have to take down the video.
Ain't no telling. All right, Jamie T. Well, I see you in here. Y'all just got suspended on you. Jamie, thank you. Thank you.
We're on Facebook. We're on X.
There you go. There you go. So the numbers won't look the same, but hey, we'll still make it work. So to Tommy's point about the defensive line not getting pressure, I noticed that in this game, and I know that Oklahoma State has a veteran offensive line. I know they have some massive guys, SEC size offensive line. So I somewhat understand it, and I feel like that would be an opportunity to get ready for SEC play. But as you said, Tommy, this is week 2 in a row that we not getting pressure and just sacking guys on a regular basis and putting pressure on the quarterback to where he can throw ill-advised passes. So,
Anyway,
yeah.
Yeah. The one thing I will say about Green, he is working on his passing, his form, because they weren't working on that at Boise State. He was more of a 3-quarter to sidearm type of passer, and Bobby's trying to get him to be more of an overarm passer. And learning that, I've went through that when I was younger playing baseball. I used to throw sidearm, and I had to go through learning to throw overhand, and it is a bit of an adjustment and learning your release point, because a lot of times you're going to release it a lot higher or throw balls a lot lower going overhand, as where when you throw it sidearm or 3-quarter, more likely it's just going to float a little longer. You're going to float your passes over them. But so it is an adjustment. But from what I hear, Taylor Green has the ability to be really on or have really off days, as we